Hello, hello, amazing, amazing, beautiful people in the Moving Beyond Fear Facebook community. Chelsea coming to you live again today for a little live training. And this one I am really excited about. I'm going to talk about how you can actually stop the Googling for answers, the looking to your friends for reassurance about your relationship and comparing your relationship to other relationships online or ones that you see or your friends' relationships. How to actually stop that in a way that doesn't feel like you've just chopped off your arm. And I actually want to first give a little bit of education about why that happens, why we go to Google, why we go to our friends, why we go to online forums, why we constantly confess to our partner or try to seek reassurance or try to find these answers. I want to give education about why we do that. Because I think there in the ROCD community or the OCD community, there's a lot of like finger wagging at like compulsions. These are compulsions. And compulsions are behaviors that we perform in order to kind of quench the fire of the anxiety. Things that we do to try to get that temporary relief. So there's a lot of, I've noticed a lot of like finger wagging, like stop the compulsions. And it's kind of like, okay, well, how do you do that without feeling like you're chopping off your arm? Because it's just so difficult and so uncomfortable. So I want to talk about what is the purpose of compulsions. When you do this work, you understand that everything you do serves a purpose. And the purpose of compulsions, as I mentioned before, is to kind of quench this fire of anxiety. What's really happening here is, you're getting the intrusive thoughts. It can come in the form of a what if question. It can come in the form of a statement. And that thought, question, or statement is so uncomfortable, so distressing. It triggers this fight, flight, or freeze response in your body. So your body truly believes that you're in some kind of danger. So it activates this sense of urgency to get you to get out of that threat. And the mind interprets this as, I've got to find an answer now. I've got to figure this out now. I've got to have certainty now. Because if I could just have certainty, or if I could just have the answer, then the threat would be eliminated. Then I would be safe. So the mind equates certainty or figuring it out or having the answer with safety. Because there's so much happening in your body mind, and compulsions are like the temporary way to get that relief from the feeling of fear, panic, and urgency. So we might go to Google. I've got to find the answer to this question because my body truly believes that I'm in danger if I don't have the answer to this question, if I don't figure it out, if I don't have the right answer or know this right now. So when we understand that compulsions, reassurance seeking, Googling, comparing, that these are just the body mind's misguided attempt at seeking safety, we can be like, oh, okay, like there's nothing inherently bad about compulsions. There's nothing inherently bad. It's just the only way that your body mind knew how to find some sort of sense of relief. But what this actually does is continues to reinforce the fear. It says, yes, we are in danger. And because we're in danger, we need to escape this threat or fight this threat or figure our way out of this threat. And so when you are seeking for the reassurance or seeking for the answer or comparing, you are reinforcing the idea that you are in threat you're in a threat that you need to escape. So while you get that temporary relief and you kind of have this like, oh, okay, I'm okay, you're still teaching your body mind that these thoughts are dangerous, that uncertainty is dangerous, that not knowing is putting you in danger. So I just want to lay that groundwork about why we go into these things and how we don't need to feel shame for them, but we really do need to have understanding as to why we do them. Because once we understand and have the awareness, then we can kind of reverse engineer, go backwards. Okay, so if I'm doing this because I feel threatened and I'm trying to find some sort of sense of safety, how can I then eliminate that feeling of threat and urgency within myself rather than looking outside of myself. That is how you do it. Rather than saying, okay, no compulsions, chop off my arm, and doing the work from the outside in, and you're kind of like forcing yourself not to perform the compulsions, and you're just sitting in just so much distress, which we need to learn to be comfortable with discomfort. But there's a limit to also what our body mind can handle. And there's a way that we can sit in the discomfort in a way that is gentler and more compassionate and kinder. That's a side note. So rather than being like, okay, like I have all these answers, like I need all these answers, but I can't like Google, I'm just gonna like sit and ruminate. We end up still doing something that's not helpful for us. Rather than doing it that way, which I've heard before of people suggesting you to do when you have an urge to do a compulsion. Instead of doing it that way, you actually need to do the work from the inside out. So what do I mean by that? Since we know that we go into compulsions because we need to feel safe and we feel like we're threatened, we need to do the work in the body. We need to teach our body a roadmap of how to go from urgency, fear, panic, to being able to find that safety within yourself, to be able to self-regulate, to be able to quench that fire within yourself without looking outside of yourself and reinforcing that need to get that safety from outside of yourself. Because also when we do this, when we Google, when we go to friends, when we compare, we end up just kind of screwing ourselves over. We read something that's worse. Our friend says something that's not helpful. We compare to our relationship that looks absolutely perfect and glamorous. So it's actually just not helping us. So we actually need to teach our body mind how to feel safe within, even without, listen up, even without finding the answer, even without figuring it out, even without making sure you're in the right relationship or you're attracted enough to your partner or you and your partner are compatible enough, even without doing that. And that's the magic. Being able to feel safe within yourself without having the certainty. Woo! I bet someone's OCD out there is freaking out. It's like, she's lying. You've got to have certainty. It's the magic. The magic is being able to stay grounded within yourself without needing the certainty. Yes, sit with that for a moment. Let the freak out happen. And know that it's possible. And also, we tend to look outside of ourselves. Another reason, besides seeking safety, we tend to look outside of ourselves for the answers because we don't trust ourselves. We believe that someone else or something else knows better for us than we do. That someone else outside of us, a higher power, an oracle card, Google, someone else has the answer. And we don't trust ourselves. So you actually have to build self-trust in the midst of uncertainty. Build the groundedness and safety from within. Feel solid in your self-worth. Feel solid in your ability to make decisions. Feel confident in yourself. Do that inner work. And then the urge to perform compulsions naturally begins to dissolve. Because everything you need is right in here. Everything you need is right in here. One of the recent graduates from my Freedom to Love group program, when she started, constantly Googling, constantly comparing. And within the first few weeks of this program, it just naturally stopped. She's like, I just don't even feel like I need to do it anymore. Spirituality was such a triggering compulsion for me. Oh my gosh, I used to do compulsive, I didn't know it at the time, I used to do compulsive praying and sign checking. God, give me a sign that this is right. right? We're looking outside of ourselves for the certainty, for the answers, rather than trusting in ourselves, embracing the unknown, being able to access safety and groundedness within, even in the midst of not knowing. Because we've got to get comfortable with uncertainty and mystery, the mystery of life, the inherent mystery of life. So one of my clients, she's like, I just don't even feel like I need to do it anymore, because she was doing that inner work. She was learning how to find that safety within. She was building that self-worth and that self-trust so that she didn't need to compare her relationship to others to confirm if she and her relationship was worthy enough. She already knew. We were tapping into that worth. We were tapping into that inner resilience, that inner safety, that inner groundedness. So then it doesn't feel like you're chopping off your arm. It feels just like a natural byproduct of doing the work from the inside out rather than the outside. Just stop the compulsions and eventually the fear will go away. The outside in. The work we do here at Healing Embodied is inside out. So it feels like a natural byproduct of the work you're doing within. And that's what I really love about this work. You will just no longer need the compulsions. You'll no longer need to check. You'll no longer need to compare. You'll no longer need to Google, because everything you need is right in here, and you trust yourself. You know that you are worthy, whether your relationship is perfect and media worthy or not. You know that your partner is worthy because you're seeing them from your own lens of worthiness. So you don't need to keep comparing them or seeing if they're attractive enough, right? The work from the inside out is the path. Is the path to true transformation, to just no longer needing these things. It's just like a non-issue. Yeah, like I remember I was constantly comparing my relationship. You know, I was doing the compulsive sign checking and praying, looking for confirmation or conviction. And I was comparing my relationship to ones I saw online. And when I just had these inner shifts, that just like dissolved. I was like, I could see a relationship on Facebook and just be unfazed by it. I could hear someone talk about, I just knew he was the one, and just be like, cool. Good for you. That's not my story, but okay. I could see a dumb article, a BuzzFeed article on Facebook being like, how to know if you're in the wrong relationship, and be like, I don't need to click that. Because I did the work from the inside out, and it was just the natural next thing. You realize I don't actually need that. I don't need that anymore to give me that sense of safety, security, and worthiness. Honey, that's all in me. I don't need Google. I don't need my friend to give me her stamp of approval on my man. I approve of my man. Okay? Oh, you heard? You heard that? I don't need my family to approve of him anymore. My dad still don't approve, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay. I feel so solid within myself that I don't need the external okay and validation to tell me that I'm safe, that I'm worthy, that my relationship's worthy, that I've made a good decision. Woohoo! I'm getting some energy flowing through my body. I'm sending that your way, that confidence, that power. And I want to really encourage you to step into the work, to do the work from the inside out. And I have one spot left in this upcoming Freedom to Love group program, the one where my graduate no longer needed her Googling compulsions. I know that some of you out there are Googling all freaking day, from when you wake up to when you go to bed. It's taking up your time, your energy, your life. It's making you more anxious. Do the work from the inside out and watch that begin to naturally dissolve. So if you want to step into highly transformational work, unparalleled support, I really pride myself in having Healing Embodied. The structure of our program is providing unparalleled support. So support on just so many different facets and levels. So if you're ready to step into that and say no more to looking outside of yourself and learning how to look within and find safety within and find confidence and worthiness within, then apply for that program at the link. I don't know where it is, depending on where you're watching. Apply for the program at the link that I have in the caption. All right. I hope this training was insightful and informative. And I hope it has activated you and empowered you to step into the work from the inside out. Sending you so much love today. And until next time, I can't wait to see you embrace love wholeheartedly.